Yo, what's up, peoples? It's Moon616 here, and I'm finally gonna do this video. The After Dark Horror Fest Volume 4. I did the first 3 a while back. It took me a while to finish off the last couple films in here. I've just been getting a lot of other films and whatnots and been watching those, and I said, screw it, you know what, I'm just going to finish off this and then I'll do this one too. So I've actually had a few people ask me what happened to the 4th one, so here it is. Yeah, so the After Dark Horror Fest 4. First up, we got The Reeds. This is a film from the UK. Basically follows, I think there is 6 mid-20s or something like that. They basically go to this place, rent a boat, and they're just sailing through like the reeds, which is kind of like it's hard to explain. I've never actually been on any water like this before, but it's like half water, half land kind of deal. Like you're just basically, the water is very, narrow and stuff, and you can basically jump off your boat onto the land and stuff. It's kind of like a maze in a way. But anyways, so they're on this boat or whatnot, and they start basically being terrorized by some punk kids and someone that's following them, this hooded guy with a gun and stuff like that, and an unfortunate accident leads to a casualty, which then just basically starts off a whole devastating trigger of events. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't a terrible film. It wasn't great by any means. It does have a twist at the end, which, I did figure out. But, it looked decent. The acting wasn't overly bad. Like I said, it's a pretty average film, but, it's not like the best thing in the world. I mean, it was okay. I give it probably about a 3 out of 5 out of 5, kind of deal. It's got some pretty decent gore, I guess, in it and stuff, and some pretty shocking scenes, to say the least. But it's not too bad though. Next up, we'll do Zombies of Mass Destruction. This is obviously a zombie film. Basically, the story of how those people become zombies is, I think it's like an airborne virus or something like that. Yeah, so that's how they become zombies and whatnot. So basically there's about 4 people. I think there's a gay guy that works on, I think he works on Wall Street. Anyways, he's back in town with his boyfriend to tell his mom that he's gay. They meet up with this girl that's just dropped out of college. And basically it's them against these zombies and shit like that. There's some fucking really weird, interesting parts in this film. The girl, she's, I believe she's from like Iraqi descent or whatever. There is some very stereotypical kind of characters in here. She is known by this family. Anyways, the dad of this one family, and in the certain subplot of the film, kind of takes her hostage because he feels that she may have had something to do with the outbreak, being a terrorist or whatnot. I thought it was kind of a weird subplot to the film. It was kind of disturbing a little bit, but overall the film wasn't too bad. The gore was pretty decent. It's kind of a very typical zombie film. It doesn't really have a whole lot new elements to offer, in my opinion. It's basically supposed to be a comedy, like it says, one of its types since Shaun of the Dead. But I don't know, man. It's definitely not as funny as Shaun of the Dead. I didn't really find it overly. I found it actually kind of offensive in some parts, to be honest, with the whole terrorist stuff. But I don't know. It wasn't too bad though. It's kind of maybe a little below average film. I give it maybe about a 3 out of 5. I definitely don't fully recommend this one. Next up, the Graves. This film actually has Bill Moseley in it. It follows 2 sisters on a trip. They end up in like Arizona or whatnot. Anyways, they kind of get sidetracked and go into this like abandoned mine. Yeah, it's kind of like a what do you want to call it? Like a tourist attraction kind of deal. Anyways, they end up going into this thing, and then all fucking hell breaks loose. People are fucking disappearing and dying and shit like that. yeah, I mean, that's kind of pretty much all I can give away in this one. It does turn into quite the fucking, it's not really a mess towards the end, but it's kind of all over the place, and it's, I don't know. I don't really want to say a whole lot about it. Overall, the film I didn't think was overly that great. I did kind of like the ending, though, how it kind of spirals out of control, and just, it is a little different, but, honestly, even Bill Moseley couldn't really save this film. There was some decent kills, overall. I don't know, man. I kind of give this one, I don't know. I would say probably maybe 2.5 out of 5. Like, there was just too much predictable things happening, too much things that, I don't know. It wasn't that interesting, to be honest. I don't recommend it. Next up, we got Kill Theory. Yeah, this one follows about 7, I guess mid-20s or whatever. They go out to this dude cabin for, to fucking chill out, party and shit like that. And all of a sudden they become stalked by a killer, which gives them, well, basically wants to play a game. This is very much like Battle Royale, with just in a different location kind of deal. Basically what he does is he says, you got to kill each other. You got to kill each other off, and then, if there's one survivor by 6 o'clock, then I'll let you go, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows that storyline, right? It actually wasn't that bad, considering the storyline is so familiar, in which we've seen, and, we've all seen that storyline. I thought some of the kills were pretty good. I thought the characters were quite interesting, actually. It does spiral out of control. I mean, there is a twist that I pretty much figured out right away, but, I still wanted to know if that was what it was. Yeah, it's just basically them, fucking, it's survival, man, survival of the fittest, and it just really goes to show what people will really do, when they're put in that type of situation. And I, honestly didn't mind this film at all. I mean, like I said, I prefer Battle Royale or whatnot, but this one actually wasn't too bad. I definitely give it like a 3.5 out of 5. It's not a shitty film. It's not above average, but I do recommend Kill Theory, though. It was fun. If you like those kind of slasher type deals or not. The Final. This film had an interesting premise to it. It's basically about, I think it's about 6 to 8, maybe 6 or 7, kind of, outcast kids that get together. And what they do is they've been terrorized by all the cool kids in the school for years and years, and they fucking had it. They fucking finally had it. So what they do is they basically gather them up at this party. I can't remember what type of party it is. It doesn't really matter. So basically they throw this party. They're all dressed up in masks and blah, blah, blah. As the party's going, they drug them all. They all wake up to find themselves tied up and shit like that, and then the fun starts. It's basically a revenge movie about these, outcast kids that want revenge. They want the cool kids to feel the fucking pain that they felt and stuff. And it just, right away when I read the back of this, it just reminded me of like Columbine, which is kind of fucking disturbing because I don't really find that too cool. But it almost has that same type of deal to it. But I did enjoy this film, though. I thought towards the end it kind of could have been, it does spiral a little bit, it kind of sways away from things, but overall I thought it was pretty decent. Some of the torture scenes were pretty good, but yeah, I do recommend this film. Yeah, it's it's another average film, I would say. I mean, it's not shitty or nothing, but 3 out of 5 I'd say on The Final. It was worth the watch. The Hidden. This is a film. This is a Norwegian film. It's about a guy that comes back to basically settle his mom's estate. I think she dies, and yeah, it's been about 19 years since he's been back or whatnot. There was something that happened right before he left, with one of his friends and stuff. And as he comes back, he feels the the tension. People aren't really liking the fact that he's back and stuff like that, and I mean, but it kind of says that's like the main plot to it, but it really isn't. It's more about what develops when he's there. A couple people go missing, and obviously people are not happy that as soon as he arrives, these kids go missing. And it's a police investigation, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and some fucked up things happen and shit like that. And it actually was pretty entertaining. At first, it started out kind of like one of those typical type of films, but then it did get better throughout the film. I do actually recommend this film. It was pretty decent. I mean, in a way, it was a little predictable, but I don't know, man. It wasn't too bad. For what it wasn't overly that bad. I can't really say a whole lot about it without giving anything away. It's one of those type deals. Dread, as you can see, it doesn't say the After Dark Horror Fest 4 on it. This was the very first film that I bought out of all these, and then I ended up buying the other 32 films together. So that's why this is the E1 release, not the Lionsgate release of it. But anyways, this is Dread. This is a short story written by Clive Barker. It follows like these 3 college students they're doing basically like a report, like an investigation or whatever, about fears, right? And what they're doing is they're taking like people and interviewing them, and they're getting them to tell them their deepest fears and shit like that. And basically what happens is the dude on the cover there, he kind of fucking uses that against them for his own personal reasons. And yeah, it's pretty fucking good, man. I really enjoyed this. Like, just watching people just suffer from their worst, deepest fears and shit it's a little disturbing. I definitely do like the story by Clive Barker. It fucking works. It's disturbing. I had a lot of fun with Dread, man. I highly recommend it. I give it like a 4 out of 5 for sure. It's definitely one I recommend. And then we come to Lake Mungo. This is an Australian film. It's like a mockumentary about a girl that drowns. And it's just it basically plays out like a series of interviews and with the family and family and friends and stuff like that. And as it progresses through the film, they kind of figure out like that she had like a secret double life kind of going on and stuff, and then they just try to figure out and get some closure from it and stuff. The movie's done really, really well. Like, it actually seems real. Like, the acting was well. It seemed very genuine when they're talking about their daughter dying or their sister or whatever. It did seem actually quite real, I got to say. Knowing that it was a mockumentary going into it, I knew it wasn't, so it was a little disappointing. But overall, the film I thought was actually really good. It was entertaining. Like I said, it's nothing like spectacular. But it's just like another kind of average film that worked. There was some plots, there are some things in there that were kind of meh. But what do you expect, though? It's another average film that I wouldn't fully recommend, but I wouldn't say stay away from it either. So yeah, Lake Mungo, not too bad though. For what it was a different type of film. But I definitely recommend Dread a lot. Hidden, for the most part, I thought it was actually pretty well done. The final is definitely worth a watch. I personally really liked Kill Theory because I do like that whole storyline. I mean, it's been done a million times, and the reads to a point. Like I said, it was decent with a twist that was I kind of figured it out. Lake Mungo, yeah, like I said, watch it. You could, whatever, take it or leave it. The Graves wasn't that great. And Zombies of Mass Destruction, I honestly can't figure out if I like this film or because there was parts that really pissed me off with the terrorists. But you know what? If you like zombie films, definitely check it out. It has some decent gore. So yeah, so there's the After Dark Horror Fest 4. Just my thoughts on the films. Like I said before, I don't really like to get into a whole shitload of plot because I don't like to ruin things for people. But yeah, so there's After Dark Horror Fest 4. Hope you enjoyed the video. Mood616 signing out. Thanks for watching and subscribing, peeps. Yeah.